Beryl was truly an impressive, record-breaking storm. Whether you look at the tornadoes that happened yesterday, the winds, the extreme devastation that it caused, but what were the most accurate models throughout the entirety of its evolution? I'm meteorologist Anthony Bornaro, a student at Mississippi State, and let's break down what the latest was for the most intense and the correct models. First, I want to look at the cone. Now, a lot of people were saying the cone, they didn't say it was going to be a major hurricane. We don't really know in the beginning. It's really tough to tell, but obviously the waters here were very warm. They only had it at hurricane strength, the National Weather Service did, but quickly, I would say by, Sunday, they're like, oh yeah, this thing is going to be a major hurricane. It doesn't say the numbers here, but they said, no, this is going to be Category 4 and ended up being a Category 5. Now, let's take a look at the center line cone. Now, it's hard to tell with the specific graphic, and by the way, thanks for Manny the Weatherman for creating this. But yeah, so very accurate in the beginning. You can see it curve a little down, curve a little up, depending on the track. The initial track had Jamaica in its cone. That was good. Had it crossing the Yucatan Peninsula. As you can see from the beginning, hurricane right there at Jamaica, and eventually it did have it, again, crossing the Yucatan Peninsula, which it did. And this is where things get a little dicey as far as strength and intensity, because they expected it to lower in strength quicker and then cross on this side of the peninsula. This is the National Hurricane Center. And then what happened was all of a sudden the rotation just exited the coast pretty far north. But notice it still was in the cone of uncertainty. And you can see Houston still on the cone of uncertainty here. So you're going to see it right around this edge. I'm going to let it play through the rest of the video, kind of riding along the edge of that cone. So overall, the National Hurricane Center, I give them like a 4.5 out of a 5. They did really well with intensity. Obviously, things you can't forecast. The National Hurricane Center did really well. A good thing about these websites is you can go back in time and see how accurate they were, see how accurate they weren't. Let's start off with the GFS model, which the American model. It sometimes performs better than others. This model run is from Tuesday, so exactly 1 week ago today. Now, it said it would be here. Right now, it's somewhat here, but it had landfall pretty much. I mean, that's good for a week out at a Category 1 strength. That is fairly impressive. And going back, had it crossing the Yucatan Peninsula. I'm going to focus on just the end of the track rather than the beginning of the track towards like Jamaica. I mean, that is very, very impressive, sir. A model that people have been really praising is the Icon model or the German model. Now, the German model, I mean, look at this. This is, I was about to say, this is for right now. Anyway, yeah, look, it was about like a couple hundred miles off in location. Now let's go all the way back to where it said it'd be make landfall. So this one had it a bit stronger. So the Icon was a little bit stronger. Maybe didn't see the wind shear, and then had it landfall at around pretty much a Category 3 strength by Louisiana. So they're pretty good as well. It was on it, maybe not the strength, but even far back as the Yucatan Peninsula. And now we can go back and maybe check out like a Sunday model. I don't know, but I mean, no matter where you look, the Icon model was very good. And I apologize for the shaking of the camera. I'm trying to get better at that. But even a couple days out, nailed the landfall near Houston. And we're not gonna do the NavGen model. That's like the Navy. Theirs is not really made to be accurate too much. Let's look at the Euro model, and let's go back. I'm not sure if we can go back as far as we can. I'm not sure if it goes out as far. No, it does. It does. I didn't give the Euro credit. The Euro, it had it pretty much dying. I mean, here it is right here, pretty much going into Mexico, and I'll put up a bunch of on the screen. The Euro is consistently showing it crashing into Mexico, and we'll show model after model for the later runs about what specifically they want to do. If this is working out, I don't think it will. But let's go back to Friday, what I think it'd do. It still had a South Texas landfall. So it was one of the models that kept on correcting, kept on catching up with the other models. So Euro is definitely worst. Here are my, actually, before we do that, let's do the HWRF model. I wonder how far back it could take us. Last Monday. All right, but he can't zoom out. Do you know what we'll do here? We know what we'll do. We'll do the parent model, which zooms out all the way. So it had it. This model can only start there. Before we go, let's do the HWRF model, which is a hurricane-specific model. And right off the bat, I only have to tell you, it was really accurate. That and H mod showing it strengthened as far as the strength. Maybe had it a little bit stronger at landfall than it actually was, but give Beryl like 5 more hours to intensify and it would have done that. So this one doesn't go out too far. So overall, had it re-entering the Gulf and going that north, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get a good enough view about what these models were saying, but I mean, it was pretty much nailing it. Maybe a little bit further south than you would like, but as far as intensity, everything, the HWRF did really well. So if I had to rank them, probably the Icon Model 1, Euro was last. The HWRF, they're up there too, and the GFS. These models did a really good job, even days out. Now, in the beginning of the storm, it's really hard to tell. So some of them were a little bit off, but the Euro generally tracked further south, those tracked further north. The Euro is not always off. It was very accurate with Ian. So we'll create a benchmark here and see where we go from here. But if you enjoyed this video, would like to see more storm recaps, which were more intense, which were more others, let me know and click this video because YouTube thinks you'll like it.